Welcome to this Twidget tutorial on creating a custom endpoint. First, navigate to the API page. Click on Create Endpoint, which will open up a sidebar specifically for creating endpoints. Here, you'll see different types of endpoints you can create. For this tutorial, we will select Custom Endpoint. Now, you'll need to configure the endpoint. Select the endpoint path input and enter your path. Optionally, you can provide path parameters using curly braces. Choose the HTTP method: get, post, put, patch, or delete. Provide a description of the endpoint. Decide whether the endpoint requires authentication. Add any relevant tags to the endpoint. Once you're done with these configurations, click Create. Before we view the new endpoint, let's navigate back to the API page. Here, you can see the endpoint we just created. Click on the Options button next to the endpoint, and a menu will appear, allowing you to delete the endpoint. If you have multiple endpoints, you can use the checkboxes to bulk delete them. Now, let's navigate back to the newly created endpoint. Endpoints in Twidget have different inputs than functions. Query: a key value pair in the URL used to filter or specify data. Header: a key value pair that conveys information about the request. Body: data sent in the request body for more complex input, like JSON. File: allows you to upload a file or multiple files. You can also add commands to an endpoint. These commands will be executed in order to produce the desired outcome. Let's add a command. We'll select the Create Variable command. This command will allow us to create a variable with simple text. Click Save to add the command. Next, we can specify the output of this endpoint. Click Add Output, and select the variable we just created as the endpoint's output. For changes to a variable to go live, we need to publish these changes. Click the Publish button at the top of the page. Optionally, you can add a publish message. Click Publish to make all your changes live. To test our changes, let's navigate to the API client. Create a new API request. In the path input, select the new endpoint we created. Finally, click Send. The request was successful, and you can see the text variable we selected as the output in the response body. This concludes our short summary on creating a custom endpoint in Twidget.